Cheers, Sarah.
Hi, everybody. Cheers. Cheers, age. Yay!
The clink.
The clink!
It's a podcast.
Not a cast pod.
Every day she'll make you say,
Oh my God.
She got the scoop on pop culture news. So grab a drink. It ain't what you think. It's Sarah and the crew.
Hi, crew. Welcome to the Hey Frase podcast. I was getting everybody riled up because I was just reading about the guy who took the GHB chemsex drug and then put 15 hard-boiled eggs in his butthole. And I was like, what? This is amazing. I love when people are on drugs. I mean, I don't use drugs. I don't advocate for it. I think it's terrible. I don't even do weed or anything because it's just like, it's too much. Like it just reacts too much with my body. But I enjoy these stories so much. Like, what are you? Clearly, you're that out of your mind. But you go, okay, maybe one hard-boiled egg. All right, one egg.
Zero hard-boiled eggs for me.
15.
By number 5, aren't you just shitting out your pants? I just don't understand how anybody. I did not even, for the record, I didn't even want to talk about this story because
why?
I can't.
Oh my God, I love stories like this. So I was just reading about it. And basically the guy, this is in England, according to doctors, upon the arrival, the patient had a high heart rate, rapid breathing, and upon physical examination showed abdominal guarding over the entire stomach. He was bent over in pain. A surgical incision into the abdominal wall. The eggs were removed and the rupture was then treated for repair. The doctor said the eggs were removed as well. And the abdominal cavity was thoroughly rinsed, but they're not sure of how extensive the damages may go like in the future for him.
It's going to go very poorly. Also, pooping is going to go very poorly. Everything. It's like the guy who put a mason jar up his ass and it shattered.
What?
He sat on a mason jar trying to see if he could like stuff it up his butt, and the whole thing shattered in his butthole.
That's amazing.
It's horrible.
Seriously, I love you. Anyway, welcome to the show. Of course, the Hey Frase show happens every Monday, every Wednesday. You can always download the show on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes. Be sure to share it with a friend. We also have to thank Dira Evelyn. She shared last week's show and she won the Kendra Scott Natasha Hoop earrings. So Dira, congratulations. Love you so much. Thank you guys for listening and sharing the show. AJ is in studio. You know her as the producer. Leslie is here. She's our digital content creator. We're also at some point going to get Luis in here to say hi to him. He's a bit of a throwback, actually, because he used to work with me at 107.3 when Sarah, Ty, and Mel was on. And I'm obsessed with the fact that he drinks Inca Cola all the time, which is a Peruvian drink that everyone in the world loves but me.
No, actually, so they serve it at Podcast Village, like they always have it stocked, and everybody's like, nobody's going to drink that shit. And thank God for Luis. He drinks all of it.
Luis comes in and drinks like 4 every single day, and it literally smells like bubblegum and tastes the sweetest thing you have ever tasted in your life. So anyway.
We needed somebody to drink it.
Look, I was in New York over the weekend. I have got to tell you the stories. I swear, I almost hooked up with Drake's dad. Not exactly.
Highly doubt it. Highly doubt it.
What?
Please.
First of all, I love older men. Older men love me. And I think that I seriously would have a chance with him.
I can attest that you like older men. You like all men, but especially...
I do love men. Yeah, I do. I really do. There's something... I just really love men. It's really hard for me to keep it in my pants. Yeah, I would sleep with so many people.
Wait, I love what your mom calls you. What is it,
hot
pants?
My mom says I have hot pants. Yeah, because I basically cheat on every boyfriend that I've ever had. And she's like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I have a daughter who has hot pants. And yet she called me a slut like when I was 17. I came home with a hickey once. She was like, my daughter's a slut.
Oh my God. Okay, so that's all making sense now, Sarah. This is all coming together. Your mom slut shamed you by the age of 17. Like, hello.
I know.
Great.
Well, whatever. If I had it to do over again, I would have hooked up with so many more people. I mean, it's hard for me not to now.
The only thing I would have changed was I had way more sex than I ever had.
I was in New York. I was visiting a dear friend of mine that I went to high school with, and she lives in New York with her longtime boyfriend. And she was one of the women that I went to Cuba with last year. And I had an incident where anytime people egg me on, I'll make out with anyone. Like making out to me is like a handshake. So when I was in Cuba, we were with this Cuban driver who had fallen in love with me. So we gone to the beach. He took us to the beach, and he dropped us off. And then he said he'd come back a couple hours later. So anyway, we had some mojitos and they were like, oh my God, Sarah, this guy is not going to leave you alone. We're not going to get rid of him tonight. I'm like, guys, no problem. So, anyway, we ride back and he's like trying to hold my hand. So I'm laying it on because the girls are taking a lot of pictures. So at the end, I laid a big kiss on him at the end and they were taking so many photographs and they were like, do you
on the lips, Sarah? On the lips?
Full on. I don't think he even had a full set of teeth. They were dying. They were dying. I go, and Ernesto was his name.
Ernesto.
And they go, oh my God, have you ever told Dan about that? And I said, yeah, I came back.
Oh my God.
And I said, hey, hon, I might have accidentally like kissed.
God bless
this
that man. God bless Dan's soul. You disrespect him so much, and he's like, "Oh, okay." What was his response? You made out with a Spanish man.
It's like acting. Come on, it was a kiss for a photo. Give me a.
Okay.
It was over the top.
You do egg it on. Like we were doing a photo shoot. Leslie was there. We was one of our sponsors.
Of course I do. I love men.
And a homeless man is like catcalling you, like, "Show me your ass," and you're like, "Okay." You egg them on, and Leslie and I are like, "We're gonna die today. This is how we die. He's gonna take us all out. He's gonna rape." Like we were so scared.
It was terrible. Well, I look, in all seriousness,
but she loves it.
We'll talk about that. Like, to be serious, I never want women to be in positions, and lots of times men harass women that don't want it. But I would say for me, I definitely am a big flirt, and Dan has been a wonderful boyfriend over the years, and has gotten, is very patient with me. But at the end of the day, I mean, come on, if you're committed to someone, like, does anyone care if you like kiss somebody of the opposite sex on the lips? Like, give me a break.
See, there's a double standard because I feel like guys cannot, and girls can kiss their girlfriends, but guys cannot kiss their guy friends because that would be considered different, right?
I don't care. I would let Dan. I just want like another woman to be interested in him. Period. But he gives off such like stoic vibes. Like he's never like friendly.
I purposely asked Iggy and my boyfriend. I'm like, do you think she's hot? Like, would you have sex with her? And you know, we talk about it openly. But Dan's like, no, I would never have. Like, do you ask Dan? Like, you told him you would watch him have sex with another woman.
Of course, I'm always trying to encourage him to be out there and like, you know, hooking up with other people, but it doesn't really happen.
It doesn't.
He's like, I'll find him making love to a soccer ball. That'll be like it. that's like the craziest thing.
That's the true love of Dan's life, to be honest. But wait, I want to hear all about New York. What happened?
Okay, so I was in New York
there, right?
I love New York City so much. I had a wonderful weekend. I love the people of New York. I think the people of New York City are eccentric and fun and wild. And they're showing right now a picture. I was visiting my dear friend Tia, who I said I've known since 7th grade. And on Saturday night, we went to the No Phones party. And the No Phones party was hosted by some friends of my gunkles. And they have this party every year, and they never allow any cell phones. It's at the basket at the door. You don't touch it. If you leave your cell phone, you are leaving the party. Like if you watch your cell phone, you're leaving the party.
Okay. And everybody knows that these are the terms before they get there.
They email. Okay. This is like before you go, you know the terms. Okay.
Got it.
So people were like, are you going to go to the party? I was like, yeah, absolutely. I've been there before. But I went. We had a great time. It was fun because you do end up hearing and listening to people's stories that you probably would have I would have social media'd about people's stories. For example, one of the women at the party was talking about, she went out, she called him Chick-fil-A guy. She went out with a guy, and she actually went out with him a couple times, who always wanted to take her to dinner at Chick-fil-A. That was it.
Is it because he liked Chick-fil-A or it's cheap?
Probably both. I mean, I don't even know. She said that he would even go as far as to so-called tell her that he'd made a reservation at a restaurant.
No.
He would come pick her up, and then he'd be like, would you mind if we actually went to Chick-fil-A? I was like, what?
I'm actually craving Chick-fil-A right now. Can we go?
Who does that? She said, yeah, she went on like 2 or 3 dates with them. Every time they'd have to go to Chick-fil-A.
So the 3 dates, they went to Chick-fil-A and then they went back to his place or something. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Chick-fil-A sandwiches are like life, and I would eat them all the time. But that's true. Like 3 times though. You think by the second time, she'd be like, can we go to someplace else? Or like, I'm going to leave.
I know.
So you would have social media that. You would have been like, oh my God, this girl, you know.
If I had my phone on Saturday night, I would have said, tell me about your worst date. Hanging out with this woman who says that she dated a guy called Chick-fil-A guy who would only eat with her at Chick-fil-A. Tell me your worst date. I would have done that. And then what I ended up finding from my dear friend, I can't even say her name because she's going to be embarrassed if she ever hears this, but she was telling me, lots of times they Airbnb their apartment in New York.
The friend you were visiting?
Yes.
Okay.
And she was saying that sometimes they're so tired when they get back, they don't even change the Airbnb sheets. Like they just use them even with the people.
I'm sorry. I need you to repeat that. So they let people come in Airbnb for the whole weekend. She comes back on Sunday night. She's like, I'm too tired to change my sheets.
They're too tired.
I'm just going to sleep on these stank ass sheets that somebody else slept on.
Yeah. But then I thought to myself, you know what? If you check them and they're pretty clean,
You cannot detect semen unless you are taking out a black light and you're looking at for semen and some sprayed on the wall. No, bitch, do not get in that bed. That's disgusting. Okay, you guys know I use people's razors when I go to my friends' houses. I use razors. I use their toothbrush. I use their toothpaste. I'll clean it off with Listerine. But to sleep in somebody's bed, y'all, after they slept in it?
Yeah, she said that sometimes they have come back from Airbnb, like from renting their Airbnb, and they will just like hop in the bed. They're so tired and sleep on the sheets. But then I thought to myself, you know what?
Sleep on the couch.
I bet a lot of people who rent Airbnb, I bet they don't clean the bathroom after people leave. I bet they sleep on the beds. I bet they don't change the pillowcases.
Oh, okay.
I bet they don't. I bet they use some of the towels if they think that they haven't been used. I bet that's not that uncommon. My question for her more was like, please tell me you wash the sheets like before another person comes in.
Oh, they don't. You know they don't. They just reuse. Like nobody even comes in or comes out. They're just like, we're gonna sleep on the sheets, use sheets, whatever. They definitely don't change their sheets.
Heather,
that's insane.
We're also always live streaming on Facebook. Heather says, "Oh no, you've got to change the sheets."
Gotta.
Our friend Stephanie Sunshine Williams, who you guys know, she has an amazing podcast. She says, "Oh my God, that is so gross." And then Kevin wants to know, what time did they start swinging at the party? No one hooked up. I mean, maybe they did like after I got to leave, but unfortunately, I didn't see any of it. I wish I did. So
how was your experience? Do you feel like you're changed after you go to a party with no phones? Like, was the experience so much better because you didn't have a phone?
Like, okay, first of all, I don't really like people after 4:00. Like
it's true. I beg you to go out to drinks with me. You're like, oh no, I'm gonna be in my PJs.
I love like from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. First of all, from 6 a.m. until noontime, my most amazing work is done. Okay, afternoon time.
Nothing great happens after 4 p.m.
No, afternoon, brain cells begin to shut down, and then 4:00. I don't want to speak to anyone. I'm talked out. It's very difficult for me. Okay, but I've got to say, I was like, I really want to host a party and have no phones because everybody. First of all, everyone was in a fabulous mood. It makes people, I would say the first few minutes, people are very antsy, but you're already coming with the anticipation of, I'm going to meet new friends.
Right.
Like, I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to engage with people. People were so friendly. I just think I was like, no phone is where it's at. And I don't know. I know a lot of people said on Twitter, like beforehand, they were like, I have kids. I could never get away from my phone.
Okay, that makes sense. You got to be always on the ready if something bad happens.
I feel like it was a lot of younger people, so I don't know if people had kids yet or not. Yeah. But a couple people stepped out and then did come back. But
they stepped out to use their phone. Oh, okay. If it was like a
they
parent
stepped out of the apartment or whatever and used their phone. So I don't know who they were calling. Maybe they were calling. I don't know. It was like Saturday night. Maybe they were checking in on their kids. I didn't. Okay. I didn't talk to the people with kids. I was too enthralled with Chick-fil-A guy and the fact that my friend sleeps in the same Airbnb sheets. So I was like, okay, this is amazing. So anyway, we talked all about that, and then it reminded me. I got sharing the story of we were talking about one of the couples that was there. They were going to meet the in-laws. They weren't married yet, but they were going. She was going to meet his parents, right, for the first time, and it brought me back to the first time I stayed with Dan and his family, and how I clogged their toilet with a tampon. And I was like sharing that story. I was like, you know what? I never would have shared that story. And there I was. And
you would have. Yes, you would have.
Okay, you're right. I would have told everyone that. But
You're
anyway.
so transparent.
I am transparent. But it had brought me back, and I thought, I don't think I've ever even shared that story on the podcast.
You haven't. I have not heard this story.
One of the first times I ever went to his house, and this was like before his brother was married or anything, we were staying at his house, and, I won't get too graphic, but long story short, some things were flushed down the toilet, and just because I think that's easier and more sanitary, in my mind it is. I don't worry about the plumbing.
Do you always flush tampons?
Yes. Unless they have a big sign when you sit down that says, our toilets will clog if you put da-da-da. Then I respect that.
Even state-of-the-art toilets are not equipped for jumbo tampons with your bloody ass. Like, you're not supposed to put bloody tampons down. It sucks up all the water and it clogs shit.
Oh, whoops. Well, anyway, I did that at his house. But the best part was, because this has happened to me a couple times in my lifetime, not the whole tampon story, but the fact that other people have kind of gotten the blame for things, which is horrible. I should really stand up, but I don't. So anyway, I flushed some things down the toilet, and the next thing we knew, his mom came out and she was like, oh, I've got to call a plumber. We're having some issues. Anyway, then one of Dan's brothers came down and he goes, I know it was our other brother who took a major shit. And I thought,
how old was he? It's like a younger brother.
Seems like it was.
Oh my God. Like, you dirty, dirty slut. You couldn't even own up to your own tampon story. Oh my God. But I guess it was your first time meeting them.
Okay, it was
so
like
you
my
can't,
first
right?
long stay there. Why was
Yeah.
I going to be like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. I backed up your entire plumbing and had to have your septic system, pumped.
my
Because
God.
I let them, they were like, we know it was so-and-so and he took a big
And you're like,
dump.
it probably was.
Yeah, it seems like it was. Yeah, he seems like it is a bad diet. I know.
Wait, does Dan is a little bit dry, but does his family have good humor?
Yeah, they're very funny.
Oh,
they're very
okay, so
funny.
they totally would have loved that and embraced you for it.
I think they would have now. I think then it would have been extremely uncomfortable. Like it would have been very uncomfortable.
Oh my!
I don't know that they would have been down for that. Just like, it's like one of my first radio jobs. I spilled a white chocolate mocha all over the board, and there was sadly this producer who was like, "Yeah, this is a really bad story." I didn't tell you this story.
No, that is I think my worst fear.
I was dead ass
As
broke.
a radio. Oh my God.
I was dead broke. I got my first break as doing overnight traffic and being the assistant producer for this show. And sadly, the guy that I was replacing would eat every day at the board, and he was a larger gentleman.
Okay.
And so every day he'd have like pizza and cheesesteaks and all this stuff. So I come in one day, I spilled a white chocolate mocha all over. I was like, oh my God, did anyone see this? Did anyone see this? No one saw it. And then I just tried to like clean it. And then the next day they came in and they were like, can you believe that Yanni spilled a mocha coffee? Oh, no. I can't believe it.
Not Yanni. Oh shit. Was he fired?
No, he already
thank
resigned.
God. Oh, he already
I got
resigned.
but that's what I said. I needed the job so bad.
Right,
I was like, I cannot pay my rent. I'm keeping this job. Okay.
Yeah.
And they were like, God, we knew it. Yanni eats in here every day. It was only a matter of time. I go, it was only a matter of time. You could tell with Yanni.
and his damn Philly cheesesteaks. My God.
Look, sorry. Sorry. Oh my God. People are saying if it bleeds, it leads. That's a terrible, terrible thing. Oh my God. Please tell us your mortifying stories. Would you go to a no phone zone party? I think it's a great idea. Leave a comment right now. We're always live on Facebook. You can always email me to sarah@heyfrase.com because we read them in pineapple mail, which we do every Monday.
We love pineapple mail. Well, okay, so I have terrible luck with phones anyways. I've gone through 15 iPhones, and it's not because I break them or I lose them. It's exactly why. But I've been without a phone for like 3 weeks now, and I ordered one off of this sketchy website, which it's going to be so sketchy. And so, yeah, I've lived without a phone for 3 weeks. It's absolutely hell, at least living in this world. Would I go to a party without my phone? Yes, but to choose life without a phone in this world, especially when you work in media, it's impossible.
On a Saturday night, though, it is so relaxing. It's so relaxing at the end of the week. No phone.
I mean, this Saturday night, I was out at a Mexican restaurant spending money on overpriced hibiscus margaritas, and all my friends were like, "Oh my God, Instagram!" And I was like, "No, I can't."
That sounds great.
They were doing shots from the face. Like this guy came over because it was my friend's birthday. You can't Instagram any of it, and it's like, "Oh, you should live in the moment, Dre." Fine,
seriously,
I'll live in the moment. Everybody was wasted. I couldn't record any of it. It would have been great content, Sarah.
I know that would have been really good, actually.
I think the most exciting moments have happened in the last 3 weeks than ever before.
Because you don't have your
I
phone.
don't have my phone.
Oh, that's the way it goes.
Which is super millennial of me, but fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah, be a millennial. I love that about you.
I miss my phone. So
But first, I love your intelligence and I love your wit.
And
I
not your
do
beauty.
not care about your looks. Anyway, we do have to get to Pineapple Mail. We have a really good one today. Pineapple Mail is when we read all of your emails, your feedback. You can say anything. We love it. Sarah@heyfrase.com. But this woman says she doesn't participate in office gossip, and because she doesn't, she's suffering this consequence. So we're going to talk about that. I want to hear your thoughts on Serena Williams and the whole her catsuit Black Panther controversy with tennis. Do you watch tennis, AJ?
not really. I used to coach
either.
it for free clothes. They would give me tennis clothes if I taught it. But yeah, I don't really watch tennis. Like we have a whole tennis court here when the tournament is here. I never go.
I know. I don't
Not
either.
big
But
into it.
I love Serena Williams. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then also, if you have seen this, but here's the most annoying email phrases ranked. And I'm bothered by this story because I use all of them all the time. And what do you say? They don't really give you alternates in what you're supposed to do. So I want to know about that.
They literally just tell you if you say like refer to the email prior, which everybody says.
Yeah.
They give you no alternatives. It's useless.
And then we're going to talk too about my Moo Challenge Doja Cat spoof that has just taken on a life of its own. So we're going to talk about that, but I got to thank our sponsors first. BioClarity, you've heard about it. You know, I use it. They have amazing skincare products that are 100% vegan, cruelty-free, paraben-free, sulfate-free, gluten-free, and of course, fragrance-free, which is great for me because if you're like me, I get migraines that are very triggered by fragrance. And I think a lot of that smell is very toxic. You don't have to worry about that with BioClarity. Their skincare routines are easy and garden lush. The clear skin routine is best for oily combination or blemish prone skin. And then the essentials routine is best for normal, dry, or dehydrated skin, which is what I have. My listeners get 50% off. 50% off. First of all, their price points are amazing anyway. But now you're getting 50% off simply by using code Frase. Shipping is totally free and it's risk-free. If you don't like it, you can just return it. Full money-back guarantee. Go to bioclarity.com and enter that code Frase. Also, from our live show, we've been very grateful to work with Dr. Shore Dermatology in Maryland. They have locations in Rockville and Silver Spring. They do tattoo removal, Botox, so much more. 301-468-2100, or you can go to drshoredermatology.com, drshoredermatology.com. When you say, hey, Frase sent you, you get $500 off their permanent double chin fat removal when you mention, hey, Frase, if you are into that. Also, we have to thank Crystal from Black Dress Red Lips. She is an awesome independent woman herself selling a variety of skincare products. You can go to blackdressredlips.com, but she is mostly known as a lip sense distributor. And of course, she's one of the amazing women that sells lip sense, which I love, which is liquid lip color that lasts up to 18 hours and is waterproof. Again, using code HeyFrase, you get 10% off your order. Go to blackdressredlips.com. Boom. I also wanted to say it was fun in New York. I got to meet Senator Chuck Schumer, who was really sweet. We were walking along, and I love celebrity, as you guys know. Many of you know me for years. Like I worked in radio and then did pop culture and all the stuff. I love celebrity of all kinds.
You know, like random celebrities too, like their stylist or their whatever, their hair person. Drake's dad.
There was a Migos concert. Migos and Drake were at Madison Square Garden, and all of a sudden you see this kind of like frenzy of people. I'm like, who's here? And it's Drake's father walking in. I was like, oh my God, Dennis, I'm in love with you. You were so hot.
Is he really attractive?
Very attractive. All white suit, white hat. He's very handsome. I know. I was like, oh my God. And of course, I was with my friend Tia and her friend Elise, and they had, they wanted to go to dinner or whatever. If I hadn't been with them, I completely would have gone to that concert. I would have tried to make out with them. I
believe. Like 100%. But wait, Chuck, is there a story behind this?
We were walking along in Brooklyn, and Senator Chuck Schumer, I see this guy with an earpiece, and everybody saw this guy with he was a security guy with an earpiece. So we're like, that's kind of funny. Like, what's he doing? Is he on break or something? Then all of a sudden we see Senator Chuck Schumer, and he's walking in Domino Park, this new area in Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, we're getting a picture. So I said, Senator Schumer, doing a great job. Thank you so much. He was like, comes over, goes, thank you. What do you think of the park? I go, we love it. Would you mind if we got a picture? Okay, he says, okay. So then we take a photo. So anyway, that was Senator Chuck Schumer. So he's
so
great.
Photogenic.
Very photogenic.
Like, so photogenic.
So sweet. Very approachable. I think one other couple got a photo. But, in New York, it's kind of funny. Like, people aren't, I think because they see celebrities all the time, lots of times they leave them alone.
Yeah.
But I don't. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. Like, I saw Leonardo DiCaprio at his favorite pizza place. I did not go up to him.
Oh, I would have. Oh, my God. I would have. Actually, that happened to me, too, with Zachary Quinto.
I was starstruck.
Oh, I love. Leo is another level. I mean, that is like true Hollywood.
And this was in his like Kangol hat and beard when he like was super, super incognito. We were right behind him in the car, and his security walks out. He was going to his favorite Roberta's pizza place, and I saw him, and I was like, I can't. And my mom, she's blind. She's like, where the is he? Where is he? And I was like, Mom, we can't go. So anyways, I'm glad that you have the balls. I get completely starstruck, and I never even walk up to the famous people.
I mean, I'm like a Z-list celebrity, only famous in DC and Baltimore. And like, I always get messages from people. I saw you on Metro. I saw you here. I didn't want to say anything. And I'm like, I'm the least. You can always come up to me.
100%. That's true.
I mean, look, I love, I love doing a show and being part of the public eye is just like part of what comes with it. But I never mind taking a picture. I don't care. I look busted. I don't care. Like, please, I'm honored.
But you also love the fame. Like, if somebody comes up to you and goes, oh my God, Sarah Fraser, you're like, oh my God, which is great. Like, I love that.
Yeah, people that are in this business love it. They can say that they don't. There's a few maybe reluctant celebrities, maybe Daniel Day-Lewis. Like the one guy who's like a true method actor. No one else cares. Everyone else is in it for the fame, the fortune, and a few movies. You know, give me a break.
Exactly.
So yes, you can always say hi to me, and I always will say hi to celebrities. Look, I want to tell you this, and then we have lots of stories, and I want to hear Andrea's opinion on them. But I did Doja Cat is a singer that we talked about. She has done this song called Moo. It's hysterical. It's basically her in a cow costume, and then she's like in an old McDonald or like a sexy like farmer girl costume. The song is one of my favorites. It really doesn't make any sense. And it has lyrics and lines like, got beef ho, or it's like got milk bitch, got cheese, got beef ho.
It's a ridiculous song. We showed it on the podcast, and you had a brilliant idea.
So I wanted to do basically a spoof, and the Moo challenge has essentially started, which is that you dance to the song. Okay,
exactly.
So we had a little green screen in my apartment. We did this little spoof where I sang the first verse, and I was over the top and parroting something. When you parody something, it's an extreme exaggeration, or it's an exaggeration of the original form, right?
Exactly.
I put it out last Wednesday after the show. I give her full credit. I say, this is Doja Cat. This is my spoof on it. I love this song. And by the way, Doja Cat has come out in interviews and said, look, I like making meme music. I think people should laugh more. I love this woman. She's coming to DC. You should buy her tickets. She's coming in October. We will 100% be there. I'm getting an interview with her.
We have to 100%. And we need to and people were like, I can't believe we should never show this video to Doja, but I think she would find it so funny. She's all about comedy. She would not be offended by your spoof of it.
If you haven't seen it, the full version's on my YouTube, which you can go to Hey Frase, or it's on Facebook, and you can just search Hey Frase Podcast.
The best part is
people are so fired up about this, and it just, unfortunately, it's where the internet is. And I got many great notes from you guys who were like, I don't get why people are upset. I'm sorry you're going through this. Look, I've been training for many years to go through this, so I don't mind what people say about me or my work or anything, because the internet never knows you. They don't care. Unfortunately, though, we're in this really mob mentality where people don't watch, they don't read, and people have been like, you stole her work. I'm like, guys, from the start, in the credits, in the video, we say this is Doja Cat's song, and this is a spoof. People have gone bananas. But anyway, the comments really about me and how I'm too old to be doing this and I'm so hideous, those are really the funny ones, including this one. This is my favorite one. This one says, got trash hoe, got sleaze, got cancer, bitch leave. No, seriously, get the F, what is it?
Get the F out of here.
Get the F out of here with your untalented head out of your ass, TF out of here. That was one of the comments. Okay, Lee, give me another one. I love these. Blow this comment up.
I think this was one of the best parts of the whole video is reading people's comments after. All right, this
it
is
was
another
so
one.
good. But here's the thing. You know what's bad, though, is I really feel like, I saw all this kind of shenanigans happening over the past couple of days. And what's really bad is I feel like the internet, I don't even know how to describe what's happening with the mob internet. I don't know if people need to be heard. I don't know if people, feel like they are in a desperate state and so they have to come after to people. But I'll tell you, if you're watching and listening, like I said, I've been in this business a long time, and from my radio days to television days, I'm very used to people commenting on what I look like, what I say, what I do. And if I'm rightfully wrong, I always listen to you guys. I hear you out, and I'm happy to change course. But this was scary because I'll tell you, I don't care who you are. Women, a woman, a man, white, Asian, black, people are coming for you. You put your stuff out on the internet, they are. And what makes me upset about this is not for me, because I'm going to go on and keep living my truth and living my path. What scares me is people look at this and they're afraid to put out their own content, their silly content, their fun content, their beautiful content, their original content. Even when you tell people now what you're doing, people aren't even willing to read and listen. And this scares me for people. There are so many wonderful, beautiful people listening and watching this podcast and my show and what I'm doing and write to me, whether it's about their weight, whether it's about their true dream. What kills me is there are people that are going to read this and be too afraid to do something silly because of this mob mentality. And I'm telling you, we have got to really come together and unite over this, because it's very scary. I was thinking about this over the past weekend. A couple years ago, when Gaga and a lot of people came out with anti-bullying campaigns, I think those were very effective publicly, but I think people have upped the ante online, and it's very scary. This is one. What in the Trader Joe shopping, housewife, pill popping, meet your ass at the laundromat for my overpriced gram and hit your ass with a basket of laundry stealing. Can I get these Ugg boots out of season discount? Having I'm white, but my kids aren't, and anal queen fucking type of shit is this? Okay. Actually, that was kind of funny.
This is my favorite comment.
That was my favorite one, actually, of all time. My favorite one. I mean, look, you will get sucked into the comments on my Facebook. As I mentioned, it's Hey Frase Podcast. You will get sucked in. You can leave a comment. People were very afraid. They were like, oh my God, don't engage with people like this. At first I did, because I find something like this so over the top that it's almost comical. But then I did have to say, look, I can't engage with this because I am used to this kind of stuff, but it's not fair to give that back to people. Do we have any other comments?
I can bring them up
page.
Too. Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, I think people get the gist, and I know people listening will go and watch this. It's on my Instagram, but you know what? It's very scary. If you are thinking about putting your craft out there, I want you to do it, but I want you to realize what is happening online, because it's becoming a very scary place, in the sense that people are creating these mobs, and whether it's Ruby Rose, you can name a million people, but people are coming for you, and we should be really, really nervous about this. So I love your feedback. I think this reminds me, as I continue to put out video, more is coming, and I really want to have some sort of like a specialist on, somebody that handles more sociology and trends in people of what is happening with this mob mentality. But I think it's a very scary place, because I think we're in a place where there are certain people at work that want to see us divided through the internet, and feel that will spill over into society. And that's really worrisome, because at the end of the day, this is about a song that's like got methane, I'm a farter. And this is about a woman who's dressed up in a cow costume behind burgers and then puts French fries in her ear, in her nose. And I'm doing a spoof, and people thought I was even giving her full credit. People thought I was trying to claim this as my own. I mean, that's a scary place that we're in. If people cannot even read and see the absurdity that is happening.
Exactly.
It's very, very scary. So,
I just feel sad, because it's supposed to be funny, and in this super serious world where we're always dealing with such horrible, horrible issues, the point of it is to make people laugh and step outside of the seriousness of it all.
Heather says, I saw your video and I read the comments. I thought people were way too harsh. It was meant to be funny, and it was. Then Kevin says, I would have you dress up like a chicken with 15 eggs. Okay, great. I thought you were going to end that with putting them in your butt. I was going to be like, no. Look, I think it's very worrisome, because I think a lot of people who are putting silly things out. I mean, this is clearly a spoof, a parody. It's just unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and then it's not, because I think the Ruby Rose story was one that I almost now don't even engage in the fact of, she was tapped to play, it's Batwoman? Yeah, that's what Luis is saying, Batwoman. Mm-hmm. And then people were saying, well, you're not gay enough to play that character. What? That's where we're at? What? I'm telling you, I don't want you to be afraid of the internet, and I'm very concerned. This group is just, it's unbelievable, and they're going from person to person. And you know what I think too was hard about this is what I think is I have to do some reflecting on and meditation on is people really, I think, are afraid that they're not ever going to really have their light shine. I think they really want to see people brought down and not shine, because I don't know if they just don't have the mental health to do it. I don't know if they don't have the center to do it, if they don't have the people around them that are encouraging them to do it. But I thought, wow, we're in a time where we really want to see people not shine and not have fun to bring people down. It's very scary. So anyway, why isn't Leslie contributing today? We'll move on. Kevin, she is in running all of our video stuff, and that's why you don't see her directly in
here. I'm here.
She's here. We hear her voice. Leslie, what do you think? Leslie, by the way, give me your, I know everybody here is very honest, and I always ask for a lot of people's feedback. And like I said, we showed the video to people before. Everyone was like, look, okay, you can argue about it may or may not be funny. It's kind of stupid, but
we thought you were nuts, but we still think it's hilarious.
We were laughing the whole time.
You work in the digital space. You're also a YouTuber. What is your YouTube channel?
Leslie Oquendo.
Tell me this. What do you think about what that's happening, and what do you think specifically? And by the way, this video has like almost 90,000 views, like 1,300 shares. It has like 1,200 comments.
And it's not even the long version. That's just the trailer.
This is the trailer. This like
Exactly.
people lost their minds over the trailer.
Yeah.
Then when they saw the real deal, it was like, oh my God. Give me your...
I think this is cyberbullying. Like, to you or to anybody that actually posts stuff out there and say stuff like that. So I have had issues before like this. People would share my content and they would say, "Oh, where's the funny part about this?" Or they would actually put like bad comments on my post, and I'd be like, "I don't care. As long as you're watching, you're making me, you're sharing my content and also you're viewing the stuff." But at the same time, it's like you're saying people are like so aggressive because it's not their spotlight or they can't do anything like this. So I guess they're just jealous and they just want to bully every other person that actually is doing something for them.
Well, I think the other thing too that I saw many times throughout the comments is you're financially benefiting off of Doja Cat's song.
Yeah.
If you are, Leslie, you work in this space. If you have a YouTube account, I want you to go and sign up for a YouTube account. And I want you to begin to look at how many not even hundred, how many hundreds of millions of views now you have to get any financial money. And it's
Right.
the same with Facebook. I wanted to write back to people, go talk to Facebook is the one making money off of all these
course.
views and your shares. Do you
Yep.
think I see a dime? I see 0.00001%. Like that's literally what you
And not even because you have to sometimes boost stuff to actually get the views. So you have to put money more. You put more money in than what you get.
And I didn't even boost this video.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, in general.
Lots of times with Facebook, you have to pay. But it's interesting. I have almost 1 million views on YouTube, on my YouTube channel over the years. Okay, and I've been on YouTube like 5 years. Look, when you go click on the money, I have made $13.
Oh my God.
$13.
Do they pay you in installments like monthly or how does it work?
Send it to me in fucking pennies so I feel like I'm getting more.
Right.
$13. And they're like, sign up for your Google Analytics page so we can send you a check for $13.06. Are you kidding? Isn't a stamp $13 now?
Pretty much.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we have a very open, we have a very diverse audience that listens. I love your feedback. I heard from many of you already who didn't understand this, who felt bad for me. You never need to feel bad for me. Like I said, I've been training for many years for online bullying and trolls, so I don't care. What I fear is there is a young woman watching who is going to be afraid to put out her content because she doesn't have the therapy and the mental health and the people around, that I have around me to back her. And that is a scary place to be in this world.
I agree.
I'm wrapping up the show.
Thank you for saying your thoughts.
Yes, that's
Tell us how you feel.
I'm just kidding. Now I am. I'm scared to death for younger women. I'm scared to death. Oh, and if you think that you are exempt because of any background, color of your skin, you are not. They are coming for you. It does not matter who you are. Okay, you put yourself out there in a way that is through love, through entertainment, your opinions, your thoughts. People want to see you, and people many times on this, kill yourself. You should die. I hope you're plotting the way to take your life.
That is
Are
just
you
too
kidding?
much. That is too much.
You're
Yeah.
saying that to somebody who has their marbles. You say that to someone who doesn't have their marbles. This is the tipping point. It's very, very scary. Anyway, I go on and on.
No,
Anyway, people are commenting. Vina Washington's on saying hello, Sarah. People are giving thumbs up. Oh, look, I'd love to hear your opinions, but I can tell you right now, if you're not in the public eye, it's scary. It's really scary for people who are trying to get into this business and want to be women of all backgrounds and all voices and speak up, because it doesn't look, I'm getting this, but then this happens to black women. They're absolutely destroyed online. And we have to unite, because this mob is for everyone. And they do not especially want women to have any voice, anything that's outside the box, anything that's weird, bizarre, that they don't understand. It's a whole nother level.
And you know what? Let me add something. Sometimes it only takes one hateful comment for every other person to just follow what that person said.
Right.
It's mom mentality, right?
Exactly.
Right. So you can continue to, as I said, email me. I'm sure I'll get lots of emails, sarah@heyfrase.com. All right, we'll move on. We have tons of stories to get to today, and I want to hear all your thoughts and opinions on these. The story that is out about the email phrases, these are the most annoying email phrases. But here's my thing is like, what are you supposed to say in the meantime? So Adobe recently did a study and they say that here are the ones that people are most likely not to respond to. Okay. The most annoying phrases that people use in emails. I'll go from 5 to 1. Okay. Sorry for the double email. 10% of people do that. They double up and they email you twice. Have you ever done that, AJ?
Yeah, but I won't preface it by sorry about my other email. I'll just say, sorry to pester you. I know you have a busy schedule.
Number 4 on the list. Any updates on this? 11% of people rank this.
I hate
do
getting
that
this
all the time.
You do. And I feel bad because
time.
sometimes I'm spacey and I'm doing something else. But it gets my attention. I'm like, oh, let me get my shit together.
You know what one I really hate, and we talked about on this show, on this podcast, and I encourage people to do it. Thanks in advance. Because thanks in advance, I'm going to say like 2 years ago was ranked as the number 1 ending phrase that then you would get a response by people.
Wait, because you're already anticipating their response. So that's
right.
good.
So, but now when people do it, I think it's obnoxious because people are automatically expecting a reply. And I'm like, no, screw you. I see your thanks in advance. And you know what? Don't thank me in advance because I may not get to you.
But you will because you're very responsive over email. But I'll always say, I look forward to hearing from you. That's my classic ending line.
Oh, I like that one. That one seems pleasant. That one seems nice.
Well, now I know what not to email you.
Did I already say number 3? Okay, per our conversation?
No, we haven't said that one yet.
Per our conversation is number 3 on the list. That's a little, people find that very pretentious. They say that it's like per our conversation, like a reminder. Like, I don't really need a reminder. That's why people were annoyed. Per our conversation. The number 2 on the list was per my last email.
So it's like, get your stuff together. You'd never email me back. Per our last email me back, bitch. That's what they're saying.
I'll get a response. And number 1 on the list of the most annoying phrases people use in emails, not sure if you saw my last email. ... I do that all the time.
Oh, now you're just calling them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Like spacey. Not sure if you ever saw the last email, but here I am again, so...
Everyone is upset. They want me to post Sunny Nails. Sunny Nails is a great account. Sunny_nails on Instagram is an amazing nail account. I am obsessed with long nails. I love long nails. I love nail art. I think it's beautiful. I could never wear it because I don't know how you wipe. And also, like, I wash dishes. I don't know how. I mean, it fascinates me that people have these very long nails with all these bejeweled things and things on them. And I'm like, wow, what a life you must have. Like, you don't have to work. You don't have to type. You don't have to do dishes. You don't have to do laundry. Because if you do anything, you're going to snag your nails and they're going to be gone. Mm-hmm. Well, Sunny_nails, I've reposted a bunch of her nail videos because I'm obsessed with them. And over the weekend, people were like, have you seen the ant one? And if you haven't seen this, I didn't initially want to post it because I thought it... I love little beings. I thought it was animal cruelty. Sunny takes a pair of clear nails. She builds this like open sort of like container within the nail. And then she gets live ants and she puts a nail in the ant. Post the original one on Instagram. Now, I'm just going to say it. Okay, everyone lost their crap. Rightfully so. I think it looks like animal cruelty. She's suffocating the ants. And even you'd have to be good to creatures big and small. So then... the video just ends with the nails, these nails, like ants, walking around the nails. Then she posts another video where it looks like she's like freeing the ants. I'm going to go out on a limb and say she got so much backlash. She was like, shit, we're going to recreate this and we've got to look like we're releasing the ants.
Poor little guys. I think their legs are falling off inside the nail and they're just straggling around. That's so sad. They can't breathe. Yeah, they're literally suffocated.
Oh, so anyway, I might post it now because I don't know, people were like, okay, thanks, Sunny. Thanks for releasing them. So now I might post it.
No, Sarah, don't post it.
I know. This one I'm actually having a hard time. You had like poor little ants. They're suffocating in those nails.
They're like petrified in honey. Oh, look, this is a picture of her, them releasing it.
Yeah, she opens up the nails and then they're releasing it. We're playing the video right now on our Facebook.
Okay, why would you even want ants in your nails? What kind of design is that? That's not even...
Well, I think it's like the creepiness factor of it. Like the, people are
shock
very...
and awe.
Like, yeah, and also the... people are very nervous when things are crawling on them. So I think it's this look of like these nails like are crawling.
Hard pass. Pass. I don't want it. Pass. It's
pass?
hard pass.
Hard.
It's a no for me, dog. Ew.
It's no.
What are they going to come with next? If they have cockroaches in it, I'll die.
Oh, that sounds good to me. I like. No, I mean you can't get a cockroach in a nail. It's like too
Hell
big.
no. A baby one.
Baby mini one. I thought this story was very interesting, but and this was kind of trending over the weekend too. There's a homeless gentleman. You guys might remember this, and it's hard to get to the bottom of what's really happening here. But a GoFundMe campaign was supposed to be a second chance at life for Johnny Bobbitt Jr. after he lives on the street, extended his kindness to a stranger, and that went viral in 2017. Bobbitt gave his last $20 to a woman that was out of gas in Philadelphia. She posted the picture. She and her husband put up a GoFundMe for Bobbitt, who now says the couple have swindled $100,000. He is still owed $300,000, and he says he's fearful that he'll never see the money. The couple, on the other hand, has a different opinion. They claim they're withholding the money because Bobbitt has gone back to using drugs. Let me ask you this. I find this fascinating because do you think, AJ, like you raise money for someone, can you really control how they use it? I mean, that's the guy's money.
100%.
It's a second chance at life, but if he doesn't, I don't know. I would give him the money. That's on him.
My initial reaction was, okay, they are doing him a service by keeping the money because apparently he was on drugs. He was addicted to drugs. He was living on the streets. He was just giving away the money freely on alcohol and drugs. And they were trying to protect him by keeping the money because they realized that he had squandered all the rest of the $100K that they gave him.
Right.
And so I defended them. And they were nice enough to set up the account. Do you really think that they had bad intentions setting it up and they were actually just going to take all the money secretly? Because that's really genius.
I don't know. I think never do. I think it could go either way because I think what happened was maybe they didn't think. I'm sure they never thought that they would get $400,000, right?
Right.
So now they're probably thinking, well, we did this. Like if it hadn't gone out on our social media, we're entitled to this. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is this gentleman's money.
And he did a really nice thing.
I mean, what do you? Okay,
$20.
I want Luis to come in here. By the way, Luis, as I mentioned, he used to be the producer of Sarah Ty and Mel. He is back. Luis is an awesome individual, and what's so fascinating, aside from his Inca Cola addiction, is this dude makes his money on. How do you make most of your money? DraftKings. He's coming and sitting down in studio right now. I love Luis.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Luis. We were just asking, how do you make most of your income? Is it through DraftKings?
Yeah, so I'm a little bit of a degenerate. So I'm a pro bettor. Well, I won't never call myself a pro bettor, even though I just did. But I do it through bet. I do it through betting and through fantasy sports like DraftKings and FanDuel. Yeah.
I love all your. I mean, the man is like. Do you drink a bunch of Inca Cola when you're selecting all your?
Well,
picks?
you told the audience that I average like 4 every time I come in, which is more like 2. But yeah. But throughout my day. After here, it's probably about 4, so that sounds
okay.
right.
What's your opinion, by the way, on this couple? Do you think so if you raise money for someone on a GoFundMe, do you think they should just hand it over to him regardless of if he's in his addiction or not?
No. I think they should have gave him some of it to see just because of his history. You kind of have to look at somebody's history to kind of predict what they're going to do.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Am I the only person who thinks, look, they raised the money for him. You just got to turn it over to him.
Well, like you asked earlier, like how I make my income and stuff like that. That's kind of how I'm kind of good at what I do as far as betting and playing daily fantasy sports. Is I look at historical data to kind of predict what people are going to do in the future.
Okay.
So given this man's history, I probably would have given some portion of it to see how he, how
could handle it.
Yeah, exactly. And then from there, a little bit more and more, we'll go off and give him some of his cash. That's just because. I mean,
the way you set that story up, it made it sound like you go around and set up GoFundMes for homeless people, and then you take the cash.
You know what's so funny? When you first posted AJ first posted the picture of this guy, I freaked out because I actually thought I knew him.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, people, by the way, on Facebook Live are saying that they gave him the money before. My understanding is they did give him $100,000, and they're claiming that he used that on drugs. So now that's why they're withholding the $300,000.
What they need to do is buy an apartment for him and a certain amount of money every month, and get a caretaker so somebody can watch him. So
a financial manager.
They're putting somebody in charge of him to watch him, but they're paying the rent, they're doing everything. So he's not homeless because right now he's homeless with no food.
Right.
Yep.
I would have given it to him.
But
really,
then
I want to ask you this too, and then we'll Luis is helping out Leslie with video and everything. But Serena Williams says she's all good now with the Tennis Federation and everything after they banned her from wearing her kind of hot Catwoman Black Panther suit. You're sort of the sports person on the show. What do you think about that? You think that was? I thought Serena handled it. I mean, like $1 million. She was basically like, look, we're all good. There's no issue. Most of her team is French. So she said they came to a really amicable situation. And she says that the bodysuit suit, of course, was meant to help her post-pregnancy when she was having some health issues, but she says she's found a solution to that as well. And I believe the Tennis Federation wants to come back to like proper whites. They want everyone to look a certain way. How do you feel about that?
So she had like a Black Panther type of like.
This is it. Yeah, turn around, look. This is it. We're putting it up right now on our Facebook Live. It's like an all black bodysuit with a red kind of almost looks like a belt. And Nike put out a great picture and basically said, look, you can take the superhero suit away from the superhero, but you can't, take the superhero out of the superhero. I don't think it went like that. That's really fucking long. But
I don't understand why you have to wear white at a tennis match. So I don't see what the big deal is.
Neither do I. I'm now into the fashion because they're fuddy-duddy. They're all fuddy-duddy. There isn't any reason. She should be able to wear that.
There has to be a reason why they do. There has to be some sort of protocol that we probably have to look into.
I think it's like if you go to certain restaurants where they require men to wear jackets. I think it's just their rules. It's the rules of the Wimbledon. Like, oh, you come in here, you've got to wear a skirt. If you're a guy, you got to wear shorts X amount of centimeters long, blah, blah, blah.
True. Okay.
Old school.
Yeah. No,
I don't know.
I think it's great.
You're Serena Williams. You could wear a thong for all I care. Like once you win enough awards, you can wear whatever you want.
At the press conference, Williams said that the Grand Slams had a right to set their own rules, but doubted they would step in if outfits were for health reasons. She also explained that she had already found other methods for addressing her circulation concerns, and she says they're all good. So there you go.
Circulation is the most important part.
I would think, yeah.
Blood flow.
Exactly.
Gotta have that blood flow. Thanks, Luis. Good to see you. You'll be on the show more.
Cool.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Our Inca Cola friend.
This is not a paid ad for Inca Cola.
His nickname is going to be Inca Cola.
Look, we're obsessed with reality shows on this show. AJ, I wanted you to talk about, too, you are kind of going to watch Ashley Simpson's new show or not?
Okay, I have two things to say. By the way, it premieres September 4th. You guys can go and watch it. It's Diana Ross's son, Evan Ross, and Ashley Simpson, which is the notoriously less famous version of Jessica Simpson. I still think she's great, but I don't know. I feel like, one, how did they get a reality show? Two, is anybody going to watch? I mean, the show is literally called Ashley and Evan. Could we get some more creativity here?
No, I love it.
You love it? You're going to watch this?
I'll watch everything. I watch Kristen Cavallari's show, Simply Cavallari, or whatever.
Right, I do too. Guilty.
But it's terrible.
It's a horrible show. I watch it because the girls are funny and they're like super airheady, and the whole entire thing is just dramatic, made up.
Here's my thing. I love reality because I want to see like how a brand is built. You never learn anything about her brand or her secrets. It's just all about like Kelly didn't show up to work for the second day, and we all went out drinking last night, and she stuck us with a bill, and like now we have to like Jay is giving us a hard time about driving on his lawn. You're like, who cares?
So
like, get to the business part of it.
It's just Kristen walking around in miniskirts around the office, telling everybody what to do, how to open the store, because they're doing the big store open. And then her husband, who's Jay Cutler, who's like an ex-NFL player, he doesn't play anymore. He just walks around the house, does nothing all day. Can you please tell me what the hell Jay Cutler does?
He doesn't, but he made all his money in football. So now he's like a stay-at-home dad, which is like the life we all want.
Their conversations are ridiculous. She's like, so babe, what are you going to do today? And he's like, I don't know, probably just hang out around the house, watch the kids. I'm like, this is what the reality show is about, but I still watch it because it's ridiculous.
I thought that an interesting article. Did you see the conversation that they had that got a lot of debate online where Kristen said that she was going to buy a home near the store so she wouldn't have to come back? Sounds like they live kind of out a little ways in Nashville.
They live in a stunning house, yeah.
Yeah, an amazing house. So she wanted to, with her own money, buy her own separate house. And a lot of people were debating in a healthy relationship, is that a good idea or not?
I mean, people sleep in different beds, but a different house is a little extreme. I don't know. They seem like they have that type of relationship where they need their space. And when she goes on business trips, they're like, are you going to miss Jay? You know, the producer behind the scenes. And she's like, hell no. I like my space. I feel like they're going to be totally fine. I mean, she's hot. He's like some weird kind of dad hot. I don't know.
Buy a house without your spouse. Like if your spouse was like, no, I think we need to like buy this together. And she was like, no, I've got my own money. I think that's awesome. Like, see, now that's the reality show.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what we want to see.
Do a whole episode on that. I'm like, good for you. Like everyone wants their own money.
I'm sure they completely will do a whole episode. They're selling this show. There's so many new shows now. Like they're like, we missed the boat, Sarah.
Who else
They've
is
already
coming out?
I mean, it's just like Ashley Simpson and them. There's like some others, but I mean, move over Kardashians. They're going to be canceled though. They're never going to get to Kardashian level.
I know, but the Kardashians I can't really watch anymore either. There's just nothing to watch. There's nothing. It's like
they've exhausted
everything. No, they haven't.
More.
I want to know like what is Kanye's mental health? Like I want to know more.
I want to see Rob.
I want to see Rob.
I want to see Rob.
I want to see that. But it's just always like we hate Courtney,
which is so fucked up, guys. Courtney is not the least interesting to look at. None of them are not interesting to look at.
I know they all are. Yeah, they are.
What? No, I think they all are interesting to look at.
Yeah, they are. I agree. I agree.
Which is
I
insane.
still follow them after all these years.
So producers, what are you doing? Like, we need to find out the real dirt of these people, not like, But you can find full coverage at Andrea Lopez Impressions. I do a whole recap of all the shows. You can look at it.
Yes, we want all those.
Yeah.
I think what happens is people give a lot of their lives when they're trying to become famous, and then once they become famous, I think there's so many like my thing is Kanye's probably working with a lot of different artists. Like he probably does have financial issues they don't want, because like once you get real, there isn't a persona.
Yeah.
Like once you get real that he's, crying himself to sleep every night, and then, he doesn't really have any money and their marriage could be on the run. Like then then it's like, oh, well, that's basically my life. Okay, well.
People watch these reality TV shows to bring them out of real life. Technically.
What? We actually have somebody on Facebook Live. Jenny says, I've never seen a single Kardashian episode.
I'm proud of
I
you.
get my updates through you guys. Well, that's scary because we only give one like once every 2 months. Why? We got to hold this woman down and have her watch a Kardashian show. That's amazing.
You've definitely spared a couple brain cells by not watching the Kardashians, but it's definitely like entertainment. I just put it on while I'm folding laundry or whatever.
In the beginning, though, I'm telling you, in the beginning, it was so good. They would go and like box people. She would be hawking cupcakes at some like little shop in LA. I'm like, all right, this is what I want to see.
All first, second, and third seasons of a reality show are always the best. After that, you can't really try to remake the first and the second. Remember when they were in their old home and they were all like fighting on the couch and they would do like stupid shit, and that was the best to watch. That was like the best episodes.
Yeah, I agree.
To be honest, I used to watch them, but now I don't. So what I do is that I go on Instagram and I follow this page that they have all the clips from them.
Yes,
Dash Tube.
Dash Tube, just the best clips. Yeah, I know.
so
well,
good.
I'll watch Ashley and Evan, or Evan and Ashley, whatever they're calling it. I think it'd be good. I mean, he's Diana Ross's son, so
Yes.
he is like, music royalty.
He is,
So
and-
I do want to see that.
And the whole show is going to be about them doing a collab album together, and each episode they're going to release a new song, and it's about they have a kid, they're trying to have another kid together, so it's going to be their life. But she just seems like always drunk to me.
Well, I was going to say, I have the best story because when I was at 99.5, she came on, the morning show when it was the Kane show, when we were all there, and she had just gotten a tattoo of how do you say, is it a peony or peony? See, I don't even know, but I was making fun of her about it.
I think it was the first
Peony?
peony.
So she comes on and she goes, I just got a tattoo of a peony. And we were like, what? What in the hell is this chick talking about? I got a peony. And she seemed so wasted. And I swore I could smell alcohol on her breath. So when she left the studio, we were on air talking about like Ashley Simpson was just here. She was totally wasted. Then her PR person, I think she actually called the station. And then we had to like go on and apologize, say we didn't really know if she was drunk. It was really funny. But I actually don't think she was. I think that's just who she is. But it was hard to get her focused. It was just like all over the place.
She's super like, yeah. And like, yeah. Did you guys have any like interesting topics? Like, did she give you anything? Or was she just like super
not.
airheady?
I think no. And then I think a month later, she went on to have that SNL mess up.
Oh,
so
God.
then people were like, you guys were right. We were like, we were.
She is an alcoholic.
Yes, we were. We knew it. We take back that apology.
She's Jessica Simpson's little sister.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I love Jessica Simpson too. I really just want a reality show where they don't have vocal fry. Like, who do we have to speak to get that? Like, can they do a reality show? Come on, like, do an actor that's trying to like get back in the game. Like, I want to see the struggle. There's no struggle anymore.
It's people who've already kind of made it, right?
Or it's made up struggle where it's like, okay, today we're getting our driveway paved, and like, is Jay going to be home or not? Tune in next. And you're like, well, who the fuck cares? Anyway, sorry. All right, look, we end.
I love that shit. I live for that shit, literally. Oh my God.
I don't. It's so stupid. You're like, this is not the real drama in these people's lives anymore. We always end Monday's show with the thing we call Pineapple Mail. And Pineapple Mail is all the mail that we get throughout the week. I usually try to read one or two, and you can leave anything. You can leave feedback. You can need advice. You can tell us your deepest, darkest secret. We love that. We've had people email us, and they basically do selfie time in front of their animals. They want to know if it's weird to make eye contact. We get it. We do not judge. We love everything on this show. So anyway, this is from a woman. She says, please do not use my first name. And it's in regards to office office gossip. So I'm in an office, she says, where I talk to everybody, all of my coworkers. And every day I go to lunch, and I go to lunch with coworkers based on what I want to eat. If I'm feeling like American food, I go there. If I'm feeling like Mexican food, I go with my coworkers who want that entree that day. I also do not participate in office gossip. I'm one of the few people that doesn't. At first, I would get strange looks from various coworkers who'd be like, you're going to lunch with so-and-so. And people would make small comments about it. Then they would ask me to participate in office gossip and ask me if that person said anything about them at lunch, which I refused to do. Here's the problem, though. Fast forward to recently. Now I'm feeling retaliation from some of my coworkers for not participating in this gossip. Their attitude has changed to me, and lots of times they will not process my work requests because I'm, quote, friends with individuals they don't like. So my question is this really a thing in work environments? Like, do you have to participate in gossip and have a clique in order to get things done? I'm concerned about the future of my career here as I'm on my way to being a manager, but now it seems as though I'm being stopped by fellow coworkers. So, AJ, what do you think? I mean, you've worked in a couple of job environments. I have a thought on this. I mean, the hard part for me on this is like, I love office gossip. So
Now, that is one thing Sarah Fraser lives for, y'all. She will talk and serve you the tea. I mean, like wherever she works, we have to like actually stop her and get her on track because she will literally just go on about office drama. You love it.
We don't even have any here. We have like 2 employees, so there's no drama.
It's Sarah and me talking about each other.
But I love whenever the guests for this show come on, because most of the guests now on this show that come on, I've known them from some past, so I'm always like, they come down and the first 30 minutes, I'm like, okay, so what about, so here's the thing is it's hard for me to relate to this because I participate. And ironically, over the years at various TV stations and radio stations, I bonded with certain people over the gossip.
Yeah. Everybody's different, but I feel really, really bad that people think that they can't even talk to you because you don't participate in the drama. And I love for you for floating around and talking to everybody. People are just probably hate your love for everybody.
People are speculating who it is. People on Facebook Live are going, I think this could be my coworker. Anyway, here's my thing. I'm going to actually advise this. The woman did not even want her first name given out, which is cool. We always give you anonymity on this show. I think you have to start. You don't have to say negative things about people, but I think you have to start participating in basic like chit chat.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you can agree with them, but don't say anything. Don't add to the conversation.
Exactly. And how you do that? How you do that is that, okay. Let's pretend, AJ, that you're this woman who is not participating in office gossip, and I'm the office gossiper. Okay, AJ.
Yeah, what's up, Sarah?
So I'm so annoyed with Leslie. First of all, I feel like she makes me look old on this camera.
I agree. She is stunning. I know, but you're stunning as well, Sarah.
Well, no, but she doesn't give me the right lighting. Okay, so when you're out to lunch with her, does she ever mention anything about my wrinkles?
No, I think she's a great person. I think she works really hard. She has hard work
Time
ethic.
out. This is where the woman, you've got to engage with me, the office gossiper. You've got to be like, so I sense that you're not really a big fan of Leslie. What's going on? Like, you don't seem like you like her. Well, I've always had great interactions with Leslie. You have to put people on by asking them questions. You've noticed I do this trick all the time in people, okay? Mm-hmm. You don't have to spill the dirt about anyone. You just engage them with, really? Okay, so tell me like what happened. All right, and where does this stem from? Then you get the history.
So, and you yourself are not saying anything bad about them. You're just asking more questions.
And then I always end it with this when I'm in different work environments. I always go, God, I wish you two could, work it out because, we'd all get together, whatever. Like, all you've got to do is participate. I think this woman is shutting down the office chat so much that people are now going, you know what? You won't even hear my complaints because ultimately people just want to be heard. I know this. I've experienced with this. It's called the Moo Challenge. So I know this firsthand, all right?
Yeah.
People hate on me because they need to be heard. So the thing is you've got to, I think, like, hear them out.
I completely agree. I mean, deflect the issue by not actually talking about them, but still engaging the people.
Okay, I think this is good. What do you guys think? Leave a comment, by the way. Leave a comment. You can always email Sarah@heyfrase.com. Do you think that this woman should participate in a little office chatter to get what she wants out of this? Because you got to play the game. Work environments are a game. And I wish that I had known that, like, 8 years ago.
Something you would tell yourself as a, 20-year-old?
It's all a game. It's bullshit. It doesn't mean anything.
These people seem like childish, though. If they can't even separate.
Welcome to a work. You don't know how good you have it. I know on show prep you're trying to raise money to move, but that's a big mistake.
I'm like, how much money do I need to move to New York, guys? I really want to move. And Sarah's like, where the hell are you going?
No, well, don't
Nowhere.
open a YouTube account because let me tell you, 750,000 views later, $13. I'm going to tweet about it. I can't wait to go click it. I get a kick out of it going into it because people are like, you've got so many views and you're benefiting off of everybody.
And you're like, actually,
come along, kids. Come along onto my social media as I show you. $13. All right, enough.
So you have to be having millions, like multi-millions of views to get any money?
Leslie, what do you think? Well, they 2 years ago, not even 2 years ago, a year ago, YouTube changed the game because they were paying out people too much money. Because people were making money off several hundred, all you needed was several 100,000 views repeatedly, which does add up to millions.
Okay.
It's totally changed the structure. You don't make, like, you've got to get 25, 30 million views now before you're seeing significant several grand a month. And that's why music artists are like, I want my music off YouTube. You can't make anything. Right. Leslie, what is it? You know better. What do you know the numbers?
I mean, I don't know the numbers exactly, but that's like what you're saying. That's how it is now. And it's very hard and it's very difficult. I have like a couple of 1,000 views and I still don't have anything.
0.000000001%.
It's like we can't make it in this world.
Go to your neighbor and have your neighbor sponsor for $200 a month, like your neighbor's business. Maybe they have a lawn mowing business. Go out, make a YouTube video about you picking flowers and sniffing them up your nose. Have it sponsored by the lawn mowing company. You will make more money than what you do on YouTube. And just put it on YouTube as an extra to build your platform, but you're not going to make squat. All right.
You're not making anything.
I got to get out of here. I got to go troll people. Okay. You guys, love you so much. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for consuming this show. Thank you for loving each other. Let's unite. That's my next video. I'm going to go around and see if I can make out with random people on the street before they punch me in the face.
That'll get views.
Bye, everybody. Bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. I'm stealing that too. Bye, bye, bye. Woo! Bye.
Rock the cast spot.
Rock the cast spot.